All right, we are back here at Denmark Drone Park. This time doing a little bit of a different test flight than what we were doing over the last couple weeks. We have a Develop Air Mini here that we're going to fly. It was just correctly, or should have been correctly set up here or back at our office or workshop. We have all of our props that will go on, very similar to how they go on the larger Develop Air model. You may notice that there's already some caps installed on those motors. They're the same color as the tips of the props, silver and black. So silver props go on the silver tips, black props go on the black tips. And then we have a 4S 4000 milliamp hour battery that we use for the Develop Air Mini. It just goes in like so. Sometimes it's actually easier to get the Velcro strap in and then slot the battery in, holding the Velcro straps either upwards or downwards, but as you saw, didn't give us really many, if any, problems there. All right, let's see if that cable reaches. Not quite. I actually need to route the cable up through the top of the Velcro straps and not the bottom. And while I'm at it, I'm going ahead and swapping the orientation of the battery. Not that it's strictly necessary, I just find better compass performance when the label is facing up towards Develop Air. It's a windy day out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our controller. We're using a Radiomaster Boxer. At least for the time being, this is standard with Develop Air Mini, alongside the props, the battery, in this case, and a battery charger, which you see here. That's all for $999. But wait, there's more. No, I'm not Billy Mays, I'm kidding. There's no more included. Technically speaking, this TX module is included, but that's already part of the Radiomaster Boxer by the time you receive it from us. All right, we have the Radiomaster Boxer turned on. Now we're gonna go set Develop Air out in the field. We're gonna steal one of these wooden blocks, or use one of these wooden blocks. All right. Got Develop Air placed down like so. Going to plug in the battery, let it get a good satellite GPS connection, and then one by one going to take off these propeller adapters and just stick them in my back pocket, hoping they don't fall out and I don't lose them. We'll see how that goes. All right, prop 1 on. Prop 2, opposite corner, also a silver tip. Dun 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 dun. Walk like an Egyptian. Dun 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 dun. All we are drones in the wind. Same old song. All right. Develop Air Mini is booted up. Props on. The transmitter is on. Let's see if flight modes are set up. We may want to go ahead and adjust flight modes if they're not. Wow, flight modes are set up. So here, ladies and gentlemen, you may or may not be able to see numbers 1 through 6 as I select them.
Stabilize flight mode.
Button number 3 just put Develop Air Mini into stabilized flight mode.
Loiter flight mode.
Number 2 is loiter flight mode. Altitude height flight mode is number 1. Stabilized flight mode is also number 4.
Return to home.
Return to home is set to 5. And stabilize also set to 6. So a lot of stabilizes in there. Let's try loiter flight mode. That's going to use the GPS. All right. And so you do have a screen that you can see telemetry information just by selecting the tele button, or telemetry for short. But the beautiful thing about these mLRS Bluetooth modules, as the name implies, they have Bluetooth. So if you have a phone, computer, tablet that can run QGroundControl, Mission Planner, the iVue RC app, you can actually get all of your telemetry information back here. Before I hit connect, I'm just going to show you the settings I use. I named it mLRS G. That's just the labels that we use in our workshop for these demo models. And then Bluetooth link settings, you'll see Maytech mLRS BT appear when you hit scan, but again, we have already selected that, so I'm just going to go back and actually connect to it. Com links, mLRS G, connect. And so again, how this works, Developer Mini, in this case, is sending the information to this TX controller, and then the TX controller via this Bluetooth module is sharing the information with my phone. So you'll see the screen share that I have, or the screen recording going on my phone, but we have QGroundControl loading. All the parameters are being established. We're going to see if there's any pre-flight warnings. No, it looks like we're all good to go. So I'm just going to hold down the left stick to the right, bottom right. Motor's armed. And now I should just be able to take off Developer Mini. And look at that, not spinning around. It can fly itself. Look, Ma, I can fly my drone with no hands. I can fly my drone with no hands on the control. No hands on the control. It's a pretty windy day. Developer Mini still doing well to just maintain a nice hover right in the sunlight where I can't see. And that's a drone in the wind, ladies and gentlemen. Developer Mini doing what it does best, flying. Now it's just up to you to add your own payload or your own software. So with how windy it is, I'm just going to let the Developer Mini land itself. I think that was set to 5, so let's try that out. So that put it into return to home mode. Let's try 4.
Stabilized flight
That's stabilized flight mode, so that's now just drifting with the wind. Did I set land to 3? Let's try.
Stabilized flight
Nope.
mode. Loiter flight mode.
So stabilized flight mode, again, that lost altitude when I was not providing any altitude. I was able to just barely switch it back into loiter flight mode to give it more altitude before actually crashing on the ground. So I guess I'm manually just going to bring it down using the left stick here. Nice and easy. You haven't seen a landing like that well ever if you've only watched our most recent Developer videos. So there you go, you have Developer Mini in perfect working condition, even in these windy conditions. You'll see us in the next video.